Today, we're going to be talking about the different types of maps. What is a map? A map is a representation of an area of land or sea showing physical features, cities, roads, and much more. Why are there different types of maps? That's a great question. The different maps help geographers focus on one specific area of geography or theme. So the different types of maps focus on one specific area, and we're going to be talking about those different types of maps today. The first map we're going to be talking about is a physical features map. And a physical features map shows the shapes of the features as shown from above. So that it shows the shapes of different landforms, like mountains. It will also show bodies of water in that specific area. In the picture on the right hand side of your screen is a physical features map of India. And this map shows major physical features in the country of India. The Himalayas are India's highest physical feature. Two long rivers flow out of the Himalayas and form one of the world's largest river deltas, where they meet the Bay of Bengal. And we can see all of that in our physical features map. We can see the Himalaya mountains, and we can see the two rivers and the delta where the two rivers meet. So a physical features map shows bodies of water as well as different landforms in a specific area. The next type of map we are going to be talking about is a climate zone map. And in order to study climate, what is climate? Before we can talk about studying climate, what is climate? And climate is just the long-term patterns in weather in a particular order. And now that you know what climate is, we can go back to how we study climate. So in order to study climate, geographers divide the world into climate zones. They also divide certain continents, certain countries, into different climate zones as well. So each climate zone has a particular pattern of temperature and precipitation. A climate zone map will show the different types of climates in a particular region. If you look at the climate zone map in the upper right hand corner of your screen, it shows the climate zones of Australia. And we can see that Australia has 7 different climate zones. And this climate map shows each zone in a different color. So we can look at our key and we can look at the map and we can see that one of the climate zones Australia has is a marine west coast because of the green. We also have climographs, and climographs show the average precipitation and temperature in a particular climate zone. On the right hand side of your screen, in the bottom corner, are climographs, and climographs are maps. And we can see that we have an average temperature by month. And then the line, which makes the colorful, if you look at the middle one, the colorful purple, is the average precipitation in that month. So when we talk about climates, we have our climate zone map, and we also have climographs. The next type of map we're going to talk about is vegetation zones, and climate is going to play a very important role in what vegetation grows in a particular area. As we know, plants have to adapt to their surroundings, and vegetation zones are going to be affected by latitude and elevation. And in order to study where different plants grow around the world, geographers decided to divide it into different vegetation zones, just like they did with climate. So each vegetation zone is going to have a certain mix of plants that have adapted to similar conditions. On the right hand side of your screen is a vegetation zone map, and this one is all about vegetation zones in North Africa. So we can see, based on our key, that this part of North Africa has highlands and desert scrub and temperate grassland and tropical grassland and two others. So vegetation zone map is going to show you what type of vegetation is in that particular area. Check out the next slide, which will have a picture of the world vegetation zones. We can see on this slide that I have put the picture of the world vegetation zones, and this is going to help you understand the different types of vegetation zones when you look at a map. This picture tells you what to expect in each vegetation zone. So if we go back to the map on the last slide of North Africa, one of the vegetation zones that we had was temperate grassland. And if we look at our diagram here on the screen, we can see that in a temperate grassland we can expect short and tall grasses that have adapted to cool climates. So this picture here will help you understand the different vegetation zones when you are looking at vegetation zones on a map. The next type of map we are going to talk about is a population density map. And population density maps are going to tell us how crowded a particular place is. And if you would like to know how to find the population density of a place, you're going to divide the total number of people living there by the location's total land area. That's simple. But a population density map is going to show you how crowded a particular place is. And population density is going to affect how people live in that area. So on the right-hand side of your screen, we can see a population density map of China. And we can see on the key that we have urban population, which has these little dots, a small dot, a medium dot, and a big dot. And on that map, we can see those different dots, and we can see about the number of people that live in that city based on the dot. We also have the population density, which is the colorful bar that you see there, and we can see that how many people we have per square mile. So we can see that anywhere in the purple area, it has a population density of over 250 people per square mile. That is a lot of people. So population density maps are going to show you how crowded a particular place or area is. The last map we are going to be talking about is an economic activity map. And economic activity maps show patterns of land use, or the way people use the land they live on. And the way that people are going to use the land that they live on is also going to depend on their natural resources in that area. So in some areas, some will still get their food by hunting and gathering, and others grow crops and raise animals to sell. Many others make and sell goods created from natural resources. Natural resources are not evenly distributed around the world, and because of that, some countries aren't as developed and don't have the same economic activity as other countries. So on the right-hand side of your screen, we see an economic activity map of Europe, and this colorful map shows the land use patterns in Europe, and the most widespread land use is commercial farming, and we can see that because we have the colors and we have the symbols, and the symbols show the locations of important resources in Europe. So remember, an economic activity map is going to show what type of economic activity is in that particular area. And those are the different types of maps that you are going to need to know and understand how to read for upcoming geography activities this year. If you liked this video, give us a like, and remember to always subscribe to your favorite YouTube channels. And we know that McGreens and a Side of Fries is your favorite YouTube channel, so make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button.